So thank you all so much for joining me here tonight. I'm so looking forward to this session. It's been something that's been going around in the back of my mind for a little while now, and I'm just really pleased to be able to share it with you. It's something that started, there was kind of a couple of driving factors behind this particular workshop, really. The biggest of which was a little while back. I was just sitting on my sofa and I could just see something flickering out of the corner of my eye. And I turned around to see a particular book on my bookshelf, almost sitting perfectly stationary as they do, but energetically jumping up and down and trying to grab my attention. This is a book that some of you might be aware of. It's called The Seven Mighty Elohim Speak. Published by Thomas Prince. Now, if you did any of the Beloved Archangel Speak events with Tim Wilde and myself last year, I think, that was also based on a book published by Thomas Prince with some amazing channel messages in it. And I bought this book around the same time as doing those workshops, just because it's by the same kind of people. And I have to admit, I read the first few pages of it and I put it back on the shelf, and I always meant to come back to it, and I've never finished it. As often is the way with these things. I've probably got a couple of dozen books I've started and never finished, but you get what you want out of them, what you meant to get out of them at that time. Anyway, this started jumping up and down, and I picked it up and just opened it on a random page. And it was all about, it was messages from Claire, the Elohim of Purity. And then I started connecting with this incredible energy, and it's really inspired this particular workshop tonight. The other thing is a quote that's always been really important to me ever since I woke up, and really kind of helped change the way I see the world, the way I see I feel things. And this might be a quote that you're familiar with. It's by a gentleman called Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. My apologies for the pronunciation on that. But he said, we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And that's so true. We spent so much time focused on the physical body that we carry, but really it's just a vehicle for our soul, for our energy. And it's only with us for such a short period in the grand scheme of our lives. And that kind of got me into thinking about, we are this energetic being. We spend so much of our time drawing our energy in from external sources, but really we are made of God. We are made of light. We have this incredible power within us. And these kind of two experiences between the book and between this really made me kind of want to go, okay, so let's take a step back. Let's look at our own power. Let's look at what we've got within us, and let's see what we can do with that. And out of that, tonight was born. Now, I want to read quite a few passages from this book. I've been working with Claire a lot, and he's going to be joining us in this session tonight and working with us in the meditation later. Now, if you're not familiar with the Elohim or Elohim, they are incredible beings. My gut feel is to say that they are 11th dimensional beings. They are incredibly high up the dimensional ladder. And essentially this book is actually, it's kind of a manual to manifestation. And it's got 7 chapters all about different Elohim in it. And it's about how they built our solar system, how they physically built our planets, how they brought it into reality, how they built the rest of the planets. It's pretty incredible stuff, just to give you some idea of their level of power. So Claire is known as the Elohim of Purity. And when they first started connecting with this incredible energy, it felt quite kind of feminine to me, because it's very loving and very compassionate. But actually, the more and more I connected with it, I feel it more now as a masculine energy. But the truth is, with these beings, they're not really masculine and feminine. It's quite a human thing to kind of try to assign a label to a being like that. Really, they just are what they are. It's like the archangels too. They are they are just what they are, but it tends to be that their personality leads slightly more to the divine masculine or the divine feminine, and as such we pick up which reflection that is. But yes, essentially, someone's just said it brilliantly, Patricia, there, God consciousness, that's it. In fact, the word Elohim in Hebrew means God. They are incredibly close to the Godhead himself, just incredible beings. And as I say, we're going to be working with Claire tonight. And I want to kind of kick off by reading a chapter. And it's the very beginning of this chapter, the introduction from him. Just bear with me whilst I find the right page. I am the Elohim of Purity. Because of your great light, love, and interest in the light of God that never fails all through the years, I have been invited into Earth's atmosphere again today. I am the guardian of the immaculate concept for this sweet planet Earth, as well as for this entire universe. I am also the guardian of the immaculate concept of your own individualized divinity, which is fashioned from white fire substance and lives in the God-free realms. This is your pattern of perfection, originally created by the Godhead, and that being in all its perfection, you must one day become. I am more than this too. I am the flame of cosmic Christ purity, the natural activity of your own life, not something that must be wooed, not something that must be drawn from without. I am the living, breathing purity of the electron which lives in the center of the atom of which your physical bodies are composed. This electron vibrates so rapidly that no discord can enter into or contaminate it, as the substance of my flame is one with the substance of that electron. I am alive in every cell of your body, moving around the central core of every atom of your flesh. Even this moment as I speak to you, truly can I say with Jesus, I am one with you always. I am your life. I am the living, breathing electronic light of purity within your mental bodies, closed in, yes, by the shadows of atomic consciousness, waiting now to be released in order to manifest the perfection of your divine conception. I am the living, breathing flame of pure light, invoked by each one of you into the great sea of your emotional world, awaiting release again to manifest perfection by the purification of the energies of the atomic consciousness. I'm going to leave that there for a minute. So, essentially, Claire is purity personification, and that's really what tonight's all going to be about. It's about to be about working with this incredible energy, activating it within us to allow us to raise our vibration, allow us to clear our own energetic systems, and essentially move ourselves through this ascension process and get us closer to our highest selves. So when I first sat down and started writing for this workshop, I connected to Claire's energy and asked for a bit of a kind of an overview of like a message of the theme of what the workshop's going to be. I did read this out in the short video I put out on my Facebook page recently and on my YouTube channel, so you may have read it, but I would just like to read it one more time here tonight. So this is what he said. Purity is the absence of discord. It is a process that can only come from within. Not even the light of the radiant Father can release that which has not been given over freely. The turning point in one's life is not the moment that a God-free being acts upon change, but when the decision is made, unified by the heart and mind, to overcome the shadows of our existence. It is in this moment the sacred flame is directed to release the shackles that bind you to the limitations you desire to shed. Within the microcosm of your being, your very cells respond to this new decree, for each atom holds within it the light that never fades. You are born of this light. You are one with it, and it is one with you. You are no more disconnected from it than the blood that pumps through your veins. When you call out this decree of transformation, these cells quicken and their vibratory action shakes free the shadows of discord, allowing the circumstances to manifest for change to occur. This is my lesson for you. Change does not happen to you. Change happens from you. When you truly commit without hesitation, the universe will move heaven and earth to bring about your desires. So once again, it's an interesting message. It's all about purification of the self. It's about change. It's such an important part of where we are in this current ascension process to allow us to move through this. So how do we kind of work with this energy? I expect most people here will be kind of familiar with the term the Christ light and will have invoked it at some point in time, whether that's themselves or through a workshop with myself or someone else. And it's called upon as something that we direct from the universe itself, comes from the great central sun, and we direct it down into our bodies and fields for purification. But as the message keeps on coming back, we've seen it a little bit already with the things I've read out, and it will continue to come up in the things that we talk about tonight. We are made of this energy. We are born of it, and it is within us. And all we need to do is activate the energy within us. So I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit actually about what is the Christ light, because I'm sure, as I say, you all would have heard of this. But how rarely do we actually stop and go, okay, so what is this? So I sat down again this morning, in fact, and I spoke to Claire again, and I said, can you give me your definition of the Christ light? What is it? And this is what he said to me. The Christ light is the divine gift from source, brought forward from the axis of creation, born out of the remnants of the shadow alchemy. It is the oldest and truest source of purity available to you at this time. It has not been altered in any way since the Great Awakening. Since all matter in the universe came from that single moment, it is infused in all matter. When you call forth the Christ light, it comes through the great central sun at the center of the universe, but so does all matter of all life streams. This is why it is within the plants, the animals, the water. It is within you. It is the divine spark in all life. So a couple of years back now, I did a workshop with Tim Wild for the winter solstice. And I talked about it a little bit then, but at the time I channeled a particular piece of artwork, which I'm just going to get up on the screen now so that you can see it. Just bear with me 2 seconds. So this particular piece of artwork, and this was something that Archangel Metatron showed me, and in that it was the year that the 7 suns were introduced to us, when we started receiving light from these 7 additional suns rather than just from our own sun. And I talked a lot at the time with Metatron about light and how it was formed. And this all ties in with what Claire was talking about this message when he was talking about the axis of creation, the remnants of shadow alchemy, the Great Awakening. Essentially, what he's talking about is what we would know these days as the Big Bang. What actually happened, the way he described it to me, was essentially there was nothing. There was just darkness, and then but the darkness it wasn't actually nothing, and it was alive and it was moving. And the act of it moving upon itself created friction. And from that friction, much like when you rub your feet along a carpet or something like that, you get static shock. And out of that friction of the darkness moving, a light was born out of it. And then everything bursts forward from that. And we have what is known as the Big Bang. And the light was created from that. And then it multiplied and spread and spread and spread. And this is just one single cell of that light that Metatron showed me. And that is, again, what Claire's talking about. This is the light that was created at that moment at the Big Bang is in every single matter. I'm sure you will have heard people talking about, you are made of the stars and things like that. That's because in this moment, all matter that exists in the universe was created, and we are all made of it. And that light exists in every single atom. We'll talk about that a little bit more. So if this light exists within you, you can activate it, you can work with it yourself. I guess that's kind of what I'm trying to get across at this point. And I just want to read another chapter from the book at this point. And this chapter is called The Complete Nature of God in Each Electron. It said, "Beloved ones, let us consider electronic light for a moment. If you could stop one electron as it passes through the universe, or stop it for a moment as it passes from the heart of your presence into your physical heart, you would see that that electron contained within itself all the nature of the Godhead, all of its powers, all of its majesty, and all of the divinity which is within the God parents. The electron itself can never be contaminated, for my flame of cosmic Christ purity lives within every one of them. In the course of a single second, millions and millions and millions of these tiny electrons are literally bombarded from the heart of the universal first course through your God presence into your physical heart and then out into the world. If this be so, from whence comes the shadows, limitations, illnesses, appearances of age and depressions? These discordant appearances are but the clothing of those electrons by shadows created from the habit of placing the attention, thoughts, and feelings of the outer self upon the imperfect appearances in its environment and in the atmosphere of Earth." So, essentially what he's talking about there, we've established, well, actually, let's just take a step back for a second. We're talking a lot about electrons and atoms here, and I appreciate this might be getting a little bit sciencey at this point, so I just want to kind of explain this, and I had to look this up myself because it's been a long time since I did high school science. But essentially, everything in the universe is made up of an atom. Now, so for instance, if you take something like hydrogen or oxygen or anything, basically, we're talking the periodic table here. Anything on the periodic table is an atom. In the center of every single atom, there is the nucleus, which contains the protons and the neutrons. And then outside of that nucleus, there are electrons that spin around the outside of it. Think of this like the solar system. We've got our sun, and then we have planets orbiting around it. That's how our atoms are made up. We have this nucleus in the center, and we have electrons spinning around them. And depending on the exact configuration of all of these different things, that gives you different atoms, whether that's hydrogen or water, whatever. We then have things that the atoms can combine. So, for instance, H2O, we all know as water, is 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom, which makes water. So Claire's talking about this a lot. He's talking particularly about electrons. So the electrons that spin around every single atom of your being, of my being, of this table, of my computer, of the planets, of the sun, of this plant, these are all of these objects are made up of millions of atoms. And in every single one of those, the electrons spinning around it contain the Christ light. They contain source energy straight from the center of the universe. And I'm just going to read it out again, actually, just the last little part of what I just read. If this be so, from whence comes the shadows, limitations, illnesses, appearances of age, and depressions? These discordant appearances are but the clothing of these electrons by shadows created from the habit of placing the attention, thoughts, and feelings of the outer self upon imperfect appearances in its environment and in the atmosphere of Earth. So, we talk a lot about lower energies, lower vibrations, lower density. Essentially, what Claire is telling us there is that all of these things, whether we are picking up lower energies from a person or we're watching the news, whatever it is that might drop our vibration, what's happening is it's actually slowing down those electrons that are spinning around our atoms, and that drops our vibration. Equally, when we raise our vibrations, the electrons start to spin faster. And I believe in one of the other bits I'll read out in a little bit, you'll mention it again, but essentially problems like ill health, depression, all of these things happen when the electrons slow down because of negative energies and things like that seeping in. Or it could be, we are unbelievably complicated beings, and that's part of my point earlier, really. We're not human beings, we're spiritual beings. You're sitting here looking at my physical body. Around my head, I have my mental body. I have my emotional body that sits around the outside of me. And then I have a spiritual body that could be spanning as up to 20 miles, 32 kilometers from me at the moment. And all of these fields, again, we might not be able to see them, but they are still made of atoms. They still have electrons. And these fields contain imprints from not only this life, but from past lives, things that we could not even be aware of, but they are dropping our vibration because the energy of them is slowing down those electrons. I'm just going to read one more section of this that I think will hopefully kind of illustrate this a little bit more. Not sure if I get the right section. Beloved friends, as the great ones have told you many times, the action of this law is mechanical. It is absolutely and positively a science of vibration. The speed with which the electrons revolve around the central core of each atom in your mind, it means your mental body, is determined by the thoughts you entertain. When those thoughts are of perfection and on the expansion of God's good to his universe, the vibratory action of the electrons in your mental body is rapid, and they deflect the mass thought forms of destruction which float in the atmosphere of Earth. These are deflected just as rapidly whirling propeller deflects dust, which would otherwise rest upon it. When you allow your mental body to connect with discord, whether it be recorded in newspapers, over the radio, television, or in passing conversation, you immediately slow down the vibrations of your electrons. As they slow down, they are more open, let us say, to the mass accumulations of depression, fear, and other negative conditions, which then anchor into your mental body and draw it from the upward course of your aspirations. The same is true of your emotional bodies. You come into these magnificent classes, sending your love and adoration to the ascended masters and other great beings in songs and decrees. In this way, you raise your emotional bodies into a more rapid pulsation. These electrons move more rapidly around their central core in the atom, and your emotional body is then magnetizing only that which is good. As soon as you allow your feelings to tie into disapproval, fear, anger, or discord of any kind, you slow down the vibrations of those feelings and lower them into the strata where those mass feelings of imperfection abide. When you endeavor to satisfy the appetites of the four lower bodies by taking into the physical form intoxicating liquors, flesh foods, chemical combinations which do not agree with your particular well-being, or taking into the body more substance than it needs to keep it healthy healthy condition, fermentation, generally disintegration, and finally death ensues. All the electrons move slowly in their orbit around the central core of the atom. You thus open your flesh bodies to disease. It is just the mechanics of living. The holding of your attention one-pointedly upon the ever-presence of God, together with the assistance of this oval of blazing light, which I have established about you today, will enable you to keep your 4 lower bodies vibrating above the discord in which you move. Then, truly, it can be said that there is nothing in you to which evil and discord can tie. How think you that the great Archangel Michael can live 20 hours out of every 24 within that substance of the psychic and astral realm and not be touched by it? It is because he keeps his vibratory action of his vehicles whirling at such a tremendous speed that it repels the discord and keeps his world disconnected from the hate creations around those he contacts and desires to set free. So that again kind of helps to kind of illustrate that point. He's talking about what we give our attention to, how that can drop our density and how that affects our systems. There's a classic term that you've probably heard before called weekend warriors, where people go and do an incredible workshop on a weekend. They feel absolutely amazing. They're all filled with love and light and everything is great. And then they get back to work on Monday morning and their vibration just drops. And that's exactly Claire is giving us the science of how our energetic fields work, which I just think is absolutely incredible. And it really illustrates the point of energy goes where attention flows. It's quite a well-known saying, but basically what you give your attention to will ultimately affect your entire energetic system. So how do we actually use this information? This is all really useful, of course, but how do we actually use it? How do we raise up our vibration? And there's a couple of techniques that we can look at, one of which is the atomic accelerator, as Claire calls it. And essentially he's talking about the heart. But within us, this body is a vehicle for our souls. Within us, we have this incredible, it's actual flame, an energetic flame that burns within us. This is actually a technique that the Sen used to teach, and they learned to kind of witness this flame within people. And it's very similar to when you see, you see their light shining out of them. This is essentially what we're talking about. It's this essence of this incredible light that we have burning within us. Let's just take a moment, actually, whilst we're here. You just close your eyes for a minute and bring your attention to your heart center. And just see if you can feel a flame here. We're going to connect with this properly in the meditation in a minute. So don't worry if you can't. We're going to lift this fire up. We're going to get it burning nice and strong and raise our vibration. But you all have it within you. This isn't a gift that I'm giving you tonight. This is something that you have burning within you. To see within the energetics, you may see like a cavern or something like that within your heart center. And within it is a beautiful blue flame. And whether you can actually see it or not, just imagine this flame. And then breathe into it. A deep breath in. And as you breathe, see the fire breathing. Fires need oxygen to live. When you give them more fire, you stoke the fire, they ignite up. So breathe into this fire, and as you do, allow it to expand within you. And give a good breath out. When you're ready, one more deep breath in. And allow the flame to burn brighter and brighter. And one last time, breathe in again. And feel the flame brighter and brighter filling your chest. So say, don't worry if you can feel this or not yet. Just imagine this energy. And see how your body feels. So lifted your energy a little bit just for doing this. So what happens is, as this ignites, with it your whole systems ignite. What happens is it's called a quickening. When all of the atoms of your body start to vibrate faster and faster. And as you do, your whole energy raises. And you're able to let go of these lower vibrations. And then, of course, your energy raises further. When you're ready, open your eyes and bring yourself back. Be interested to see how that felt to you right then, whether you could actually feel the flame yet. Wow, if it had an effect on how you're physically feeling, how you're energetically feeling. So said you felt lift, that's brilliant. Expansion, lighter, brighter, peaceful. This is it. And the thing I find interesting about this isn't, relying on external energies to raise us up. This is the energy that's within us. This is us that we're working with. And that's what mastery is all about. This is why we're here. This is why we're going through this process. It's all about taking control of our own energetic systems. There's an amazing quote in the Beloved Archangel Speak. I can't remember it exactly, but Archangel Zadkiel said, "Be the master of energy. Do not let energy be the master of you." And it's so true. And you have all of this power within you, but we forget about it. We call on the angels, we call on the ascended masters, we call on energies from the center of the universe. And there is nothing wrong with that. Do not get me wrong. These are all amazing things. And I do this all the time. I work, the Christ light in particular is my go-to energy, and I'm always calling it in. So, don't feel that I'm saying don't do these things, because absolutely, but you have this within you as well that you can raise up. Sarah said, so I guess anxiety is electrons flowing slowly. Yeah, essentially, if you're focusing on something that's causing anxiety in you, that has had an effect on your systems, the electrons have slowed. That's absolutely it. If you start to feel these energies come back to your heart, just do that quick exercise that we've just done there and see how it feels. Brilliant. I'm so glad you guys kind of feel that and you enjoyed that. That's just a drop in the ocean of what we're going to be doing tonight. So I'm going to kick into the meditation in a minute. But before I do, one thing I wanted to talk about is this is an incredible opportunity that we are being given here, that Claire is working with us for tonight to purify ourselves, to let go of the limitations that may have been holding us back, to drop some of this density. And that's incredible. And I want to make the most of that if we can. So I thought it might just be worth, before we go into this meditation, do a quick petition to the Intergalactic Council and to the Board of Karma. Now, if you're not familiar with these incredible beings, it's a group of souls who are kind of overseeing the development of individuals on the planet, and they can oversee your own karmic journey and things like that. So, for instance, it might be that you have a particular block in your life, It could be a fear, maybe perhaps as a good example, that's come from a past life, and you are karmically tied to that until you can overcome it. Now, it can be a really useful thing sometimes if we're struggling to overcome these things. We can essentially ask the Board of Karma and the Intergalactic Council permission to let us release this karma and let go of these things so we can move on with our lives. So I just thought, before we dive into this, it's an excellent opportunity for us to do that and see if we can really create some big shifts in our lives. So just take a quick moment to think about something in your own life that may be a challenge to you. It may be something within the physical world around you. It might be with your health. It might be something, some emotional thing that you're feeling, some fears or some pain, some anger. It might be something on your spiritual journey. You may feel that you've got a particular block that you just can't work through. No matter what it is, just hold the thought of this in your mind. And as I just talk us through this briefly, just, you may wish to close your eyes if you want to, you don't have to. Just as I talk through this, just follow through with me and ask for permission yourself. So we put out this request now to the Intergalactic Council and the Board of Karma. We come to you tonight as a group, but as well as individuals, each seeking to move forward within our own paths, to bring manifest the divine within our lives, and to become our highest selves. We each face our own individual challenges within this lifetime. And we're all holding a vision here tonight of one particular thing that we wish to release. We request to you tonight, collectively and individually, to the Board of Karma and the Intergalactic Council, that you release any karmic bonds to these blocks, to these challenges, and allow us to release them so that we can release these feelings and we can move forward. We, of course, do so under the law of grace, so that whatever action takes place is for our highest good. But we request this of you tonight. You just take a moment just to put in your individual request as to what it is you would wish to move past from this workshop. Ask their permission to release this. And when you're done, thank them for their service. And join us back in the room. Remember, nothing is too big or too small. You can ask for absolutely anything here. And if you've got one by your side, just if you're feeling thirsty, just have a bit of water. We're about to take on a deep cleansing, so get yourself nice and hydrated. If you've got a crystal by your side, you might want to grab it with you now. And in a moment, we're going to roll straight into the visualization. Tracy's just asked if we can use the recording to work through other issues. Yes, absolutely. And we do have a section within the meditation to ask to release some stuff as well. And you can do this meditation as often as you wish. You can petition the Intergalactic Council and the Board of Karma as often as you wish. There is no limitation on this. Just whilst you're getting yourself settled, I'm just going to get a piece of artwork up on the screen that I have done for tonight. And what this is Claire, the Elohim of Purity. Just take a moment to see this energy, to feel this energy, to breathe it in. You may see Claire tonight, not as necessarily as a physical being, as an energetic being, as I did here. But you will certainly feel his unbelievable energy. When you're ready, relax and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out. Take another deep breath in, just relaxing in this energy. And breathe out. And one last time, deep breath in and out. And bring your attention back to your heart chakra. Focus on the soft pink, white, and golden light that is emanating from it. And just watch as it gently spirals around. Just take a moment to take stock of how it feels here. Perhaps it's filled with happiness, perhaps joy or love, maybe even a little bit of sadness. However it feels, just acknowledge this feeling and then let it go. And bring your attention to something in your life that you're grateful for. Hold an image of it in your heart and in your mind. And feel the love and gratitude that you have for it. Thank it for the positive impact that it has in your life. As you do this, feel the effect that it has on your heart space. How love and gratitude raises your vibration. How's your heart feeling now? Perhaps it's appearing a bit brighter. Maybe the energy is flowing better. Maybe even it's spinning a little bit quicker. Just continue to focus on your heart, breathing gently into it. Now just let your consciousness relax and switch your perspective so that you are witnessing your physical body from the outside. Watching yourself as if looking in a mirror. As you look out over your physical body, you can see that your heart chakra is expanded to fill your entire chest area. And focus your attention on the golden light right at the center of your heart. And just let your consciousness drift and gently float directly into this incredible energetic vortex. Enter your heart. As you do, you find yourself in a tunnel surrounded by incredible vibrant colors. The golden light is dancing with the pink and the white to form beautiful patterns. Up ahead, through this tunnel of light, you can see an exit. Continue making your way through the tunnel, enjoying this incredible light show all around you, before stepping out the end into a large cavern. The energy here feels peaceful and quiet, and sound from each step you make reverberates around the chamber. In the center stands a beautiful golden pedestal, adorned with the symbol of the Ankh and topped with a bright blue flame. This flame represents your divine spark. It is the eternal flame gifted by the Godhead himself at the dawn of your very existence. It is the light that others see shining out of you. It is the light that beings in the higher realms are drawn to. It is this light that holds your consciousness in this physical vehicle. It is fueled by your experiences and in turn sets the vibration for the rest of your being. Sitting beside the pedestal is a small pouch. You open this up to find it full of tiny pink crystalline grains, similar in appearance to Himalayan salt, only slightly bigger. Take a handful of these grains and sprinkle them over the flame. There's then a sudden rush of energy and the flame shoots up before you, burning with incredible passion. As it does, the energy floods out through your full body system. Every atom of your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies quicken as the flame is ignited in every single one. You may even feel a tingling sensation as this energy rushes through you. Just take a moment to relax and enjoy this energy. Feel your heart empowered and shining brightly. Hello there, beautiful soul, you hear a voice saying. And before your eyes, you see a face appear out of the flame that stands before you. My name is Claire. You may know me as Elohim, or simply as purity itself. I was looking out over my beloved earth, and I saw your incredible flame ignite here on this eve. It always brings such joy to see a non-ascended soul committing to activate their inner immortal flame, as you have done here tonight. And I wish to offer you a gift. Within your conscious acceptance of my service now, I shall endeavor to remove as much as possible of this shadow substance around your electrons by the mercy of God and by expanding the power of my flame of purity, which is already within you. If you will accept, simply nod to Claire and prepare to receive this incredible gift. If there is anything in particular you have been struggling with in your life, whether it be physical, mental, emotional, or even spiritual, make a conscious choice right now to change it. Hold a vision in your mind of letting it go. And feel the emotions in your heart that you can now experience, knowing that you are free of it. The face then motions forwards, and this incredible being steps out of the flame and stands before you. It is humanoid in shape, but made of pure energy. Stands 7 foot tall and appears to be made of pure white opaque light with a blue aura, which occasionally sparks and crackles like lightning. His face is gentle, and he smiles at you with nothing but compassion in his eyes. The energy emanating from him is simply incredible and has transformed everything in this space. Even the air around you seems clearer just for his presence. He raises his arms up by his side as if to form a cross with his body, and then begins his work. I speak directly now to the electrons which have come from the universal first cause, having answered the call and obeyed the magnetic pull of the immortal threefold flame within your heart. In and by the power of God Almighty, I now decree the continuous and permanent expansion of that flame of purity in every cell of your bodies. I command this to remove the shadows there and transmit into light every rate of vibration which is an impurity and causes human limitation. I command this done now by the most powerful cosmic action of the blue lightning of cosmic Christ purity from my heart, which is ever known to manifest on earth. In the name and by the power of the great central sun of this system, which was vested in me when I was made guardian of the immaculate concept of the sons and daughters of earth, I decree that purity within the heart of every one of your electrons shall now expand, 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 until that which appears as limitation can no longer imprison your life in discord, and thus the shadows cease to be. Take a deep breath in and relax as this powerful energy courses through you. Bring your attention back to that which you wish to release. If it is physical, focus on that part of your body. If it is mental, emotional, or spiritual, focus on that field that surrounds your body. Then, with your mind, zoom your attention into the individual atoms that make up this area. See the electrons spinning faster and faster around the nucleus in the center. As this happens, witness lower vibrations being shaken free by this action as the atom begins to grow brighter and brighter. Know that no matter where your focus lies, this process is taking place throughout your entire four-body system. Watch as the energy lights up every atom of your physical body. Relax as these atoms vibrate faster and faster, shedding the lower vibrations here. See the energy moving onto your mental body that surrounds your head. Once again, the atoms here are vibrating faster and faster, shaking free any lower dense energies. And then onto your emotional body. The atoms here quickening to an incredible pace, and letting go of any old stuck emotions. And as the quickening reaches out to your spiritual body, take a moment to see how far this is currently reaching. In the fifth dimension, this field can expand up to 20 miles or 32 kilometers around you. This means that as the energy is quickening every single atom in this field to raise its vibration, you are also raising the frequency of all the plants, animals, and even people within its radius. While vibrating at this incredible frequency, this provides you the opportunity to help all the souls in contact with your spiritual field with their own individual ascension. When you're ready, take one more deep breath in. And as you breathe out, push your spiritual body as far out from you as you possibly can. See this field expanding out in an instant. And as it does, see your incredible energy lighting up absolutely everything in its radius. Watch as the energy washes through all the plants, trees, animals, buildings, people, and through the very earth itself. Watch as this energy clears and purifies everything that it touches and raises the frequency of this space to the highest possible level. Then something truly incredible happens. A flash of light bursts out from Claire. And in an instant, you find yourself standing in a beautiful meadow. All around you are strange but beautiful plants, and energetic beings that you have never seen before glide gently through the air. You know instinctively that you are in hollow earth, a higher dimensional realm that lives within the center of our planet. You watch as Claire reaches out to the sky above and motions with his hands as if drawing something to him. A moment later, you see incredible waves of pure white and gold energy with patches of different swirling colors seeping in through the sky above you. Claire then begins to expand out his own energy until the two sources merge. And this entire space is filled with beautiful high-frequency energy that is dancing with 1,000 colors. And with a deep breath in, Claire draws it all into his heart center. You can see this clearly visible inside of him with a multitude of colors. Claire then takes a moment to sit in the lotus position, breathing gently. And after his third out breath, there's another explosion of light, and he expands this energy outwards as far as the eye can see, and then even further. The energy is rushing through the core of Mother Earth, through the ground itself, out into the world. It flows through every single drop of water, every patch of soil, every stone, every crystal, every plant, every animal, and through every person willing to accept this incredible energy. Thank you for joining me, Claire says to you. As you undertook this purification here tonight, many of your brothers and sisters around the world did the same. And this created an opportunity that could not be missed. I magnetized myself to your incredible energies and drew them here. I accelerated the energy even further within the sacred flame of my heart and offered this as a gift to the beloved Mother, who gratefully accepted. I and the great Gaia thank you for this service. Before I return you home, I would now like to offer you one final gift. I will create around you and your worlds a great oval of pure, blazing white light from my own heart, which is the vibratory action of my consciousness. This will act for you as a deflector to those currents of discordant energy in which you move in the outer world, which slow down the vibrations of your inner and flesh bodies, and again connect you with the mass distresses of mankind. Standing before you, Claire reaches into his heart space and pulls out a flame of incredible white energy. Then, with his other hand, he uses the flame and begins to draw a sphere of energy around you. Just relax as this process takes place and know that you're receiving an incredible gift here today. One that will protect your energy and make it much easier to maintain a fifth dimensional frequency. And when he is finished, take a moment to thank him for his service. He then reaches forward and takes you by the hand. And in one final incredible flash of light, you find yourself back in the room where you started. Begin to feel yourself coming back to your body. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Have a good stretch if you wish. And when you're ready, open your eyes. If you've got some, just taking a bit of water. That was a deep, deep cleansing that we've just done. Feeling happy, that's what I like to see. Just take a moment to bring yourself back. Thank you all for your kind words. I'm so glad you enjoyed that. And thank you, Claire. What an incredible gift. I see someone there asking how long it's going to take to integrate this work. It's hard to say exactly. I would imagine even at least over the next sort of 2 or 3 days that you're going to be feeling sort of some of the effects. This was a huge, huge clearing. So take the time to look after yourself. Make sure you drink lots of water, rest, keep grounding, and just give it time to integrate. And whilst I've got you all here, I just also wanted to let you know that my dear, dear friend Tim Wilde and I are coming back together again for the solstice on June 21st next month. We're going to be running a workshop together. There are details up on my website and on Tim's website. I will pop the link in the chat if you are interested. But as I say, you can go to newmoonart.co.uk or timwild.com to find out more information about that. The artwork that I shared on screen is also available on my website, again, at newmoonart.co.uk. I just saw someone ask how often they can repeat the meditation we did tonight. I wouldn't say there's any limit on how often you do it, but I would be inclined to give yourself a few days to see how you feel after doing it before kind of jumping back in, because as I say, that was a lot of kind of clearing we've done tonight, and you might just want to give yourself a few days to integrate that before taking off more layers. But just go follow your own intuition. If you feel guided to do it, then do it. Trust your own instincts. So once again, thank you so much for joining me here tonight. Thank you, Claire, for the incredible gift you've given us. It was such an honor to share this all with you. So thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Sending you all lots of love. Take care. Bye.